Hi, could you use a distraction or an escape? My name is Kimmy Trav, and I just completed a new translation of Don Quixote, forthcoming from W.W. Norton. I'm going to read a little bit of it to you now. You, and these horses and donkeys. Welcome to Don Quixote with donkeys. Sancho followed these instructions down to the letter, slipping off Rocinante's bridle and turning him loose to graze just as he had with the steely gray. Rocinante and the donkey were thick as thieves. Their friendship was so unique that legend has it, according to direct patrilineal oral tradition, that the author of this true history wrote whole chapters on the friendship of these two beasts. However, in the interests of the decency and decorum such a heroic history requires, it did not end up including said chapters, although sometimes the author forgets all about not including them and writes about how as soon as they were set loose, the two beasts would snuggle up next to each other and scratch each other's backs. And when they were all scratched out and satisfied, Rocinante would drape his neck over the dappled grays, even though he was a good half a yard taller. And there they would stay, heads hanging, for 3 days, however long they were allowed to, until they got hungry enough to go looking for food. I will say that they say among the things the author left out was a comparison of the friendship of Rocinante and the donkey to that of Nisus and Euryalus, or Pylades and Orestes, which, if true, would clearly reveal to universal astonishment and admiration just how strong the bond of brotherhood must have been between those two peaceful beasts, to the great chagrin of man, who struggles to be a friend, even to his fellow. Which is why they say, no friend for a friend, even reeds become lances, and also, from friend to friend, bedbugs spread, etc., etc. And let no one think the author was straying from his lane in comparing the friendship of these two animals to the friendship among men. Men have learned great lessons from the beasts, and animals have taught us topics of great significance. From storks, we learned about enemas. From dogs, gratitude and vomit. From cranes, vigilance. From ants, foresight and providence. From elephants, honesty. And from horses, loyalty. In the end, Sancho fell asleep at the foot of a cork tree, and Don Quixote dozed off against the trunk of a robust oak. Before long, he was awakened by a rustling behind him. Leaping to his feet in concern, Don Quixote spun around, looking and listening for the source of the sound. He soon spotted 2 men on horseback. One of them, sliding down from his saddle, said to the other, "Dismount, my friend, and unbridle the horses, for it seems this spot has an abundance of herbs and greenery for them to graze upon, and an abundance of silence and solitude for my enamored thoughts." As he spoke, he lay down on the ground, speaking and sprawling simultaneously, and his armor gave a telltale clink. The unmistakable sound was all the evidence Don Quixote needed to recognize this man must surely be a knight. He crept back over to Sancho, who was still sleeping, grabbed him by the arm, and with no small effort managed to wake his squire, whispering, "Sancho, my brother, we have an adventure." "God, let it be a good one," Sancho replied. "And where exactly, my senor, is my lady the adventure?" "Where, Sancho?" Don Quixote said. "Look over there and see for yourself. There's a knight-errant lying on the ground over there, and by my lights not a particularly happy one either, for I saw him fling himself off his horse and fall down on the ground in what seemed a somewhat spiteful manner, and when he hit the earth, his armor clanked. Well, where is the eye? That this is the whole adventure, but rather the beginning of one, for this is how such adventures begin." Join us next time for more Don Quixote with donkeys. I'm Kimmy Trout. Take care.